Hi friends. Today I'm gonna show all my summer decks because it's so hot outside and I need an excuse to be inside. So I thought, well, if I'm filming, I'm inside. So, and not to say that I don't like to go outside when it's hot, because I did just come in from outside, but I'm really hot. So fitting that we should discuss summer decks. I think I have 18. I could be wrong, but we're gonna start with Oracle. Of course, we're going to start with my little rock pool. This deck, I feel like it can be used for any time of year, even in the darker months, because it does have a dark background, a dark back, but it has the flowers. So although I do kind of use it all year round, even fall, it's a good fall deck, the flowers really kind of, for me, solidify this as a mostly summer Oracle deck. And if you've watched my channel in the last year or so, you'll know I'm obsessed with these little tiny rock pool decks. I find I get the best readings out of them. But I mean, no brainer, a flower deck for summer. Groundbreaking. And I'm going to try to fly through some of the little guys pretty quickly. So in that same vein, oh look, two more mini rock pool decks. Sea Melodies, I mean, it's mermaids. Water, also groundbreaking. I do like to use this deck with the Llewellyn, question mark? Mermaid Tarot? Yeah, pretty sure it's Llewellyn. So, of course, where are we having trouble focusing? Of course, it's gonna be a summer deck. I might pull it out in spring because of the color aesthetics. Like, they're very muted. But mermaids are gonna be a summer deck, right? Again, we're not reaching, nothing crazy. None of these, I think, will be groundbreaking. That's how my brain works. Very black and white. Secret Garden, mostly a spring deck, but again, with the floral theme, we can go with summer. So how I like to work with these decks is I pull one of these first, and then I'll pull 2 tarot cards to go along with it. And for me, that way of reading is just, it's where it's at for me. And these decks are perfect for that. I edged mine in a very light blush pink. So, nothing crazy, right? Makes sense. Another Oracle that I guess it kind of can be an all year round, but for me, it's a summer one. I don't use it often. I do want to remedy that, but the Sacred Destiny Oracle, I think this is just because of the colors. I mean, like, that's an ocean, so summer, yeah. But look at that, like, that is, there's so much greenery happening. I mean, that's a jungle. Under the sea, forest with butterflies. I was just going to say, I think there's a polar bear card, so you can kind of get away with all seasons with this deck, but for me, it's mostly a summer deck. We have I almost said a snow lion, a snow leopard. I need to use this. I need to use this more. I don't know why I don't. But of course, for me, it's a summer deck. Next up, another one that aesthetically, for me, makes it a summer deck. This is a fantastic Chakra Oracle. So good. The Chakra Insights. It's one of these kind of situations where the deck is not as big as the box. I think it's the colors that do it in this deck. I have a couple other chakra decks that didn't make it to this list because they're just solid colors. So I felt that was a little too obvious, but this one just so colorful. And I feel like it's a very positive deck. Positivity, sunshine. But I do use this all year round just because it is such a good chakra deck. And the guidebook is phenomenal. If you're wanting to get into chakras, or if you're wanting to, if you pull a chakra card or you use a chakra deck and you're like, okay, well, what does that mean for me? How can I put that into action? The guidebook does give you actionable suggestions for working with the chakras, which I love. So yes, Chakra Insights Oracle. Again, like I said, I don't think any of this will be shocking. This one is one I use all year round, and I initially thought it would be a spring deck, but I don't know. I actually feel like I get more fire energy out of it. The Oracle of the Radiant Sun. So the colors are a little bit more muted, which makes me think spring. I have this in some sort of order, so we're going to try and keep it that way. I don't know. Maybe it's the name of the oracle talking about the sun, but even though the colors are muted, if I had to categorize it, I feel like first place would be summer, followed very closely by spring. But I just think, let's get some other designs going here. I just think I don't know, it's a little more summer for me. And even like as I'm looking at it, I do see, I see spring. But the vibe of this deck is summer. That is how my brain is categorizing it. So that's what we're going with. And I don't think it's a stretch. I don't think anyone watching this will think, oh my gosh, what is she doing placing this here? That's a really springy card. That is a very springy looking card. So my Oracle of the Radiant Sun has been deemed a summer deck. I think this is the last Oracle, and it is also a no-brainer. Seasons of the Witch, Beltane. This is the only summer one I have. I have the Mabon, but this is the only summer one I have, and I love the bees, and that's why I bought it, if I'm being honest. I love me some bees, but definitely summer. Again, we're not breaking any wheels here today. I would also probably use this one in spring. I mean, I definitely would use this in spring. But yeah, again, nothing shocking. And I think that's it for our oracles. I might come across another one in my tower-esque pile of decks, so I might have to circle back, as they say. Next on the list, first tarot deck. I have the Robin Wood Tarot. I have not used this in a long time, and in fact, it was on my purgatory list. I think I even had it listed somewhere. Yeah, I think it's still in order. Oh no, lied. Yeah, I had it listed for sale somewhere, and then I took it down because I thought, you know what? Let's give her another go. I think what's doing it for me with this deck is mostly the wand suit. This could also be a spring deck. If we're looking at the giant white borders, it could maybe get away with a winter categorized deck, but I don't think so. I don't think that I would love to use this in the winter. We have a lot of greenery happening, and we have not. Of course, that wand is I think it's just the court cards. Oh no, there's, makes a liar out of me right off the bat. So our 3 of Wands is very, very yellow. Not the 4 or the 6 or the 5. It's mostly the court cards. Is this in order? What's going on? I think it's partially in order. That's funny. Let's see how, just the Wands, or no, okay. Oh, I love that Death card. I don't know why, but I do enjoy this Death card. It's nothing crazy, but there's something about it. I think it's because I really want a cloak. Our sword suit, is it winter looking? I don't know. Are we even going to come up with some? Maybe not. I wasn't paying attention in the beginning, but I mean, the 3 of Swords is always kind of depressing. Oh my gosh, this magician is so dreamy. I don't know why I'm so attracted to him. Let's get a close up. Love him. So yes, it's been categorized in my brain as a summer deck. Here's the court card from the Swords. Just gloomy. I wouldn't say winter, but gloomy for sure. And I don't know if it'll stay in my possession, if I will put it back on Purgatory. We shall see. I don't think I've used it one time since I took it out of Purgatory. We'll do an obvious, well, I was going to say we'll do an obvious one, as she has an entire video of obvious summer tarot decks. Desert Illuminations. This is new to me for 2020. What year are we? 5? Also, no brainer. Again, not breaking any wheels here, but desert makes me think of summer. And the bright colors. And for some reason, aliens. I think of summer when I think of aliens. Or no, I shouldn't word it that way. I should say I don't think of winter when I think of aliens. They don't make me think winter. If an alien's gonna visit, they're not coming here in the winter. Why would they? Summer's where it's at. But again, this is just the oranges, the hot pinks. There's not a lot of yellow. That kind of chartreuse green that we have in the cactus and the aliens. The heat that kind of emanates from the cards. Yes. Summer. Right? Now, I talked about this one in a monthly wrap-up recently, so get this one out of the way. The Gentle Tarot. I did use this in the first part of the summer. That just feels warm to me. I wouldn't say that that screams summer, even though there are seashells on it. Warm. But then when we look at our borders all spread out, I would say early summer or late summer for the colorways of the borders, but the images are not late summer for me. They are summer. Yeah, I'm okay with this decision. I was gonna say animal decks are also very summery for me, but I do have the Oak, Ash, and Thorn, which is very fall. And I would probably use the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit in the winter, but that's probably because of all of the white in that deck. Would we classify this as an animal deck? I mean, there's animals in it, but there's also quite a few people. Food for thought. Another Captain Obvious Tarot del Fuego, of course. I have not used this yet this summer, and I really want to because it does feel like we are living in hell at the moment with this heat. So this would be absolutely fitting. So I'm hoping to get around to it. Orange, yellow, red fire, with also a side of pink. I don't love the shade of pink in this deck, but for some reason it works. So yeah, of course, Tarot del Fuego makes an appearance in a Decks for Summer video. So bizarre, and I love it. Yep, I said it. Lightseers. This one I use every summer. Every single summer. And sometimes in the winter, when I feel like I've had enough of winter and I need bright, colorful, cheery. This is the deck I am currently mostly working with. A couple others. I don't think anyone's gonna disagree here. Like I said, I don't think anyone's disagreeing with any of my choices because I am a very black and white thinker. It's a fun deck. Very boho, colorful. I don't know. I want to say like Coachella, but I think I'm just being influenced because of that card. Another one I've discussed at nauseating length this year, no regrets, the Ancient Greek Tarot deck. This was a Kickstarter in March of last year that came in 2025, and I have no regrets. Again, looking at our borders, this one is slightly more colorful than the Gentle Tarot. I would say the Gentle Tarot is a little bit of a darker, colorful color palette. This one is more bright. But I feel like they have the exact same color palette, if you get what I'm saying. Nudity warning. We have illustrated nudity in this deck. Obviously, Ancient Greek themed. The guidebook, you had to pay extra for it on the Kickstarter, and it came as a PDF, which I'm very glad I decided to get it, because there's definitely some cards where I would have been lost. This one is obvious for me, but okay, that's also obvious. This one maybe not necessarily. That could be a lot of people. Same with this one. So I really like the guidebook for tying together the images with either the stories or the individuals being portrayed. I have used this since I got it. When did I get it? I think it was March. I think it came in March. So I did use it in winter/spring as well, but that's because I'm obsessed with it. This is one I'll use all year round because I love it so much. And I love it when we have decks like that. Another one that's like that for me is the Sistine Tarot. I will use that deck all year round, although if I had to give it a season, it would be spring. But the Ancient Greek Tarot deck, summer vibes. Makes me feel fine. Lilifer. The gold accents just add to a summer deck for me. Again, we have fun colors. Fun summer colors. I think I could get away with using this in winter. Again, in one of those situations though where I'm kind of over the white, the gray, the drab, the cold. This deck still has that white background with the pop of color, like the Wild Unknown. I would say there's probably more color in this one. Trying to imagine the Wild Unknown. Yeah, but first place, summer. This is actually really good all year round. Maybe last place would be fall, but spring and winter, sure. This is a great reader for me. I really enjoy using this deck. Oddly enough, I have not used it yet this year. Not one time yet in 2025 have I used the Lillifer Tarot deck. So many decks to use. So this is a big Llewellyn guy in a big Llewellyn box, so it gets a bag. I talked about it already. I should edge this. The Mermaid Tarot. Of course it's going to be summer because, again, we have mermaids. This deck does incorporate Arctic mermaids into the suit of swords. So it does have, it has a fiery element with Hawaii, and it has that icy element with the Arctic. So you can get away with using it in the winter, but I think that this summer vibe trumps that suit of swords. I haven't used this one yet this year either. I don't think I used, I was going to say I don't think I used this last year either, but I think I did because I don't remember it being in my decks I didn't use video. This is a favorite shuffler for me. There we have, oh, that's an awful one to pause on. I love how these Llewellyn decks shuffle. There's an icy one. Oh, it's nice to look at that card right now because of how on fire my whole body is. And I love pairing this with the Sea Melodies little rock pool guy I showed earlier. Again, groundbreaking. But they work so well. Why mess with a good thing if it's working for you? This Might Hurt. This is the indie version. I don't think I used this one last year. Really wanted to use it this year. We'll see. I have these edges. You could get it in a darker iridescent. With the white borders, I thought it made more sense to my brain to have it with the lighter iridescent. I do love these backs. I thoroughly enjoy the backs of This Might Hurt. I do prefer the black and white over the mass market blue. Listen, I am a sucker for a gradient. Gradient artwork, gradient skies, give it to me. The colors in the gradients are summer, but to me, the cartoony art style is also summer. And I don't think I know how to put that into words as to why, but I think it's just bright, cheery, cartoony. You know, maybe it kind of ties back to watching cartoons when you're off from school in the summer. Maybe we could, you know, dive deep and say that's where I feel that from, but I don't know. Cutesy cartoony means summer, spring to me. Now, would I say this deck is cutesy? I think so. I mean, look at his face. That's cutesy. But yes, the bright colors along with the gradient. Love it. Love it for summer. The cardstock is quite thick on this deck, which is kind of what gives me pause about using it. Also, the super cheery, super cutesy cartoon style gives me pause about this deck, which is, I think those two reasons are why I don't reach for it. I was going to say often. In this case, it's at all. The last couple of years or year and a half. I did want to work with this deck in 2025. It was kind of on the list of musts to work with. We'll get there. I know I can do it. I have faith in myself. This just came in. That's why I forgot about it. Just go. Oh my God, I have 2 more. Oh, I'm not on the ball today. It's the heat, guys. It's the heat. So this just came in. It's the Stunning Tarot, which edition? 5th edition. Let's do the fan. We'll fan her out so you can see. Oh, that makes me so happy. I can't even begin to tell you the joy I feel when I see all that color. I don't know if I would even say I'm a high color person. Like, I don't have a lot of really colorful things, but for some reason it is really tailoring my Swift. It's dark. The colors are dark while still, oh, see, this isn't dark. Did I just lie? I don't know. This deck feels dark to me while also being colorful. How to explain that? I mean, well, okay, perfect example. This is a rather dark card, but there are lots of colors in it. Maybe that is why my brain is associating it with being dark and colorful at the same time. I haven't worked with it enough to know if the messages are also, shall we say, dark. I don't know if I want to say that. Not dark, not negative, but punchy. Ooh, I like punchy. The message I received this morning wasn't punchy. It was accurate, but not punchy. But it's probably, like, this morning I think is the 3rd card pull I've done with this deck in a reading. I've been playing with it, but I've only read, I think, thrice with it. I do think I could use this all year, though. I think the colorful color palette definitely makes it summer, but I don't feel like it is limited to summer. We shall see. We'll see how my first year goes with this deck. So that is the 5th edition of the Stunning Tarot. I think there's still some left on the website if you act fast. Okay, the last one that I totally forgot about. It was next to the Stunning Tarot. It is both a tarot and oracle, so it doesn't matter that we've got it out of order here. I do use it as an oracle, though. We have the Outgrow Yourself Tarot and Oracle. This is absolutely an all-year use. Mostly, I would say summer, winter, fall. For some reason, it doesn't give me spring. I think it's the color palette. It's not very muted. It is very saturated colors. I mean, we do have some muting with the pink and the yellow, but still, I would say more summer leaning. I think with it also being botanical, there's botanics, is that a word? On every card. There's a botanical element on every card. Yeah, I don't see a problem with assigning this summer, but I do use this all year round. This oracle is a powerhouse for me, which is funny because I bought it for the Thoth, but it works better for me as an oracle, which I was not expecting. Also love it when that happens, when a deck surprises you. It's a little on the icy side, a little on the spring side. I am working with this one right now as well. And I love her. Okay, now that's it. That is officially it, I think. All right, so that is all my summer decks. All of my decks that I own that I have assigned the summer season to. Will I use them all this summer? No. I was going to say not necessarily, but no. I know myself and I know that that's not going to happen, but that's okay. because some of them I use all year round anyway. And who's to say that you can't bust out a bright, colorful deck in the middle of a snowstorm? That's actually probably the best time to bust out a bright, colorful deck. So that's it. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you when I see you.